computer.
So you can see what's going on here.
Amazing. Right, guys. So obviously we're back for another nutrition cook WOD with Iain and our special guest, I'm going to say, Sheila, because Sheila's got a good couple of questions for us today. So, Chef, let's inform everyone. What are we covering today?
So today we're going to keep it kind of similar to what we did last week in terms of doing like quick and easy breakfast or like kind of snack for any time of the day. So obviously we did the breakfast burrito last week, which is like a hot option. Today we're going to give you like 2 items that you can use in conjunction with each other, or you can do it kind of slightly differently. So if we talk about the chia seed Bircher first, that is something that you can make up the night before, and it will last in your fridge 3 days or for however long you plan to eat it. It's like all the ingredients go together, stir it up, stir it overnight, and then you've got like an instant breakfast. Now, the recipe that I posted is like a guideline more than like a straight up rule of thumb. So that's the base ingredients. So if you wanted to add anything else on top of that, like you want to put in some like dried fruit, like coconut shavings, additional stuff, feel free to go wild with that. You might need to adjust the liquid content a little bit, but the base of it is we're going to use oats, we're going to use chia seeds, which we're going to give it a body because we're not cooking it, we're just letting it saturate. So the chia seeds fluff up and it'll give it the texture of a porridge basically without the cooking. So oats are really good slow release energy. On the recipe notes, I think I put down use almond milk. Now, I'd only put that down if, I like almond milk because you're getting a little bit extra bump of protein. I don't take a lot of dairy myself. I maybe have milk in my coffee once a day, and that's about it. So I tended to have that in there just because I liked it, basically. But feel free to use normal cow's milk. I'm going to be using cow's milk tonight, so I forgot to get almond milk. You can use oat milk, rice bran milk, hazelnut milk, any of these alternative milks, if you so choose, it will still work. And then the other thing, we're going to show you how to make like a super easy granola, which you can, this recipe as well that's up on the site, you can, double it, triple it, 4 times it if you want to make a massive batch, as long as you put it into like an airtight container, and it will last up to like a week and a half. Again, it's one of those things you can have in your cupboard, and we're just going to touch on like having like, because you spoke at AK about yogurt last week, so like a big scoop of yogurt, big handful of granola on it. Again, add some almonds for additional fats and proteins. Add some banana if you want a bit of energy, like all the potassium goodness. If you want to make up anything else for like a compote, I've got some fruit here that I might like throw together for a quick compote just to put in it. Picture I think I put up with the chia seed Bircher has like almond butter, banana, compote, fresh berries. Feel free to put as much or as little on it as you want. It's one of these things that's really, really flexible and it's going to give you like a really good slow release energy start for the day that's going to probably see you through a workout, see you through mid-morning, get you to lunch without really feeling that loss of energy. Hopefully, that's the plan.
Brilliant. That'll be good, mate. So what I'll do is I'll let you kind of get like set up, of course, with like the step-by-steps. One of the questions that Sheila was kind of wondering was in regards to the oats. So Sheila, what was it that you wanted to kind of mention about it or touch base with?
Well, I was wondering about different qualities of oats, and you put rolled oats. Is that just the normal?
Yeah, just rolled oats are just what you would.
And some of them are really cheap, and some of them are more expensive.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, I'm just using some like pretty basic Scots porridge oats, which are just rolled oats. Are just like, they're obviously going to be flat. They're the ones you'd cook out into porridge. The reason I say this is the husk is not like pinhead oatmeal. So they've been rolled, the husks have been broken open, and they're actually going to absorb the liquid and fluff up a little bit more, so the texture is going to be better. So I'd definitely say get rolled oats. I mean, you can go down the line of getting like steel cut oatmeal, which is like really expensive, or you can just get a good old packet of Scots porridge oats, as long as they're rolled, and just use them. There's not like, I mean, if you want to go for organic and go all that kind of way, feel free, but yeah, I'm just using some nice, simple, straight up porridge oats without too much faff,
For me, I actually look to use Irish oats, and I know it sounds quite silly, but it was more for that texture. I quite liked using the Irish oats, but I think it is just basically like the more refined or the more simple it's been created, obviously it's going to be cheaper. So I think just in general, like obviously some people might struggle if we're like obviously during this period of time, they're like just trying to make sure that they're not spending too much, but not wanting to sacrifice the quality. So that's why I kind of Sheila, I was like, that's actually a really good point, because some people might say, well, I want to get more health, but I don't want to go down the route of sacrificing the nutritional density or the quality of the food as a sacrifice.
I get that.
So, I mean, yeah, just general rule of thumb would be like Scottish oats, because
Scottish porridge oats are just, they're the boys. I pretty much use them in Primal for everything as well, or just like, and even Scots, I get them from a company called Green City, so they buy it in bulk, and I just get divvied down over like 3 kilo bags at a time. So, you know, they're not particularly, I mean, they're well sourced and they're well produced. Green City is a cooperative and they work with farmers and like fair trade stuff as well. So I know it's a quality product, but at the end of the day, the good old Scottish porridge oats will do you right, basically.
Well, that's good to know then. I'm looking forward to seeing this, mate, because I think my breakfast burrito has been used multiple times and I've like so many vegetables.
Already?
Yeah, I mean, it's worked.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so
there's nothing wrong. That's the whole point of like doing this, is to like give you the tools to produce something at home, or like give you the ability to produce something at home that's going to be fast, easy, and kind of straightforward.
Well, yeah, I think that's why for myself and probably for some other people as well, is when you find a recipe, don't be afraid to make it a good couple of times in a row, so you get used to like your step-by-steps and knowing the procedure of like making the recipe. So then when you come to it, you're not having to completely refresh your brain again about how to do it.
Exactly. Right, so I'll start with the granola. Like obviously I've given you the exact quantities on the website, or but I'll just talk you through what I'm weighing out just now. So I'm going to weigh out 150 grams of oats, and this is kind of like a one-pan wonder as well.
Yeah.
Like obviously it involves a little bit of like cooking and bits and pieces, but yeah. So 150 of oats. Start with straight up. Should have done my Blue Peter and just like had all this stuff up.
This is one I made earlier.
Yeah, kind of. That's what I was like, maybe I should have done that. Anyway, so I'm using blue agave syrup for this. So this is the same stuff that they make tequila from, but they also harvest it and turn it into syrup. The glycemic index of it's slightly different. It's like fructose, like a fruit sugar. So you can get away with using a lot less of it, so it's a lot less sweet. If you wanted to substitute maple syrup for this, feel free. If you want to substitute honey for this, feel free. Just be aware that honey might burn in the oven. This doesn't burn as readily. So
yeah.
So this we're going to put in 50 grams. So
I just need to be careful with agave or maple syrup because it just comes out so fast. Like, you just don't want to go crazy with it.
Yeah, but that's the mild concern about this one. And teaspoon. So I said as well to use sunflower oil in this recipe. Again, feel free to use rapeseed oil. Like, and if you want to use olive oil, use it, but make sure you use one that's not like heavily fragranced, like not an extra virgin, it'd be too tangy.
Yeah.
So put in 5 teaspoons of olive oil. So I'm pretty sure this is the recipe. Right, and this is your base. So once you've got this, all we're going to do is give this a really good mix up. So it'll kind of clump together a little bit, but just like keep stirring it until it breaks all down. And yet you want to get all the oats nice and coated. And this is what's going to give us a nice kind of colour. So it'll kind of look like, I don't know how to describe it, like kind of breadcrumby. So we'll go kind of like, I don't know if you can see this, kind of slightly coloured, but it's not going to be super wet, so don't expect it to be sloppy or anything. All we want to do is coat it, allow the sugar to caramelise a little bit and get that colour. And the oil is just going to help bind it all together as well. So once we've got it to here, I'm using a non-stick frying pan, but you can use like a baking sheet with some greaseproof paper on it. So this goes in. I'm going to spread it out till it's pretty thin, so it's not like one big pile in the centre.
Yeah.
Because the idea behind this is we want the oats to cook nice and evenly and get nice and coloured evenly as well.
Bro. I'm making all the notes on this, by the way, because normally I would have just immediately like lumped that right square in the middle.
Oh. Right, so this is now going to go in the oven for initially 10 minutes just to get a bit of colour. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Brilliant. That sounds like a really good start there.
Right, so that's in. So that gives us a chance to weigh out the next kind of wee portion. So I said on the sheet as well, 50 grams of, was it 50 grams of mixed sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds? Again, if you don't want to add these, you don't have to. I like them for texture because they toast up really nicely. So we're going to weigh that out. A big pot of seeds. So into the seeds.
Yep. Yeah, these will take on a really nice texture as well. There we go. So does it necessarily matter like what type of seeds that you add into it? Like for me, I would be more aiming towards like pumpkin seeds, maybe getting some of the rapeseed oils in there, or chia seeds.
I just like I borrowed this recipe from a guy called Christian Coates. So he did a cookbook called fitness something, and within that, this recipe was there. So the recipe, the book itself is quite nice because it's got the same recipe has like 3 different parts. So there's like, if you're wanting to lose weight, it gives you alternatives in which to miss out. If you're wanting to maintain, you just follow the recipe by the by. And if you want to build, it tells you to add additional ingredients. So you can delve into this cookbook and actually look at how to make each meal adapted for what you're looking for specifically, what you're looking to specifically do. Well, I've got the book lying about somewhere.
That's really good then. Because then obviously it just kind of...
So this, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right. So within the book, it's obviously contained. It tells you the sections. It gives you like a nutritional breakdown. You have this, if I can really see this. You see here, you've got like these 3 sections. So you've got burn, balanced, and build. So it tells you how to basically actively manage each dish to suit the specifics that you're looking to achieve, which is quite nice. I thought it was quite a nice touch.
Obviously, if you're working with, like, say, for example, if you actually do have, like, a young lad who's wanting to go through, like, a build and cut phase, that's actually quite a good useful tool. No, I mean, like some of the lassies that I know that say, like, they want to gain size in their legs, and then obviously then they want to kind of, like, slim down, but still maintain the mass that they've been able to create for, like, power, strength, and performance. So, same as well, it's just basically, it's like learn how to calorie surplus and learn how to calorie deficit effectively. And that's basically what general rule of thumb. It's just
I mean, it's like, you know this as well, because you and I have both done the level 1 course. They delve into the nutrition in the level 1 course, they talk about blocks.
Yeah.
When they refer to that, so you'd have like certain blocks of like carbs, fat, protein. So that's how you build your meal. So they don't really didn't delve into the calorie deficit stuff. They just use blocks as like a kind of like a guideline.
Yeah,
this is kind of similar in terms of like how that operates,
I think it's just like if you pick a system that you know that is maintainable for a long term, like from a measurable point of view. I mean, from zonal dieting, when I first started out, I was like, okay, I understand the principle behind allocating grams to a certain block for a certain macro. But then you get some people who don't have the knowledge basis of understanding macronutrients. Man, it's like Rain Man material for them. So that's when you start going down general rule of thumb, just like eat greens, keep it organic, don't eat rubbish, sleep well.
Royale. So I just added a little bit of cinnamon in it, so that's going to get blended in as well. Also, if you can find it, get ground Saigon cinnamon, because
Saigon.
it's honestly the best cinnamon you'll ever have. If you're a fan of cinnamon, if you hate it, don't bother. But
no, I like the cinnamon. Like I tried to say to people, like, see cinnamon and cinnamon and turmeric.
Turmeric is legit
some of
as well.
the best things that you can get in your diet, especially turmeric
for
building up your immune system.
You know what? I started taking this week, and I've actually noticed a difference in how I've been feeling generally. Like my
Are you taking a
body
turmeric shot in the morning?
What's that?
Are you taking a turmeric shot the first thing in the morning?
Yes.
Yeah.
Immune support, which is basically just turmeric and ginger.
Yeah.
Do you know?
So
also turmeric's a natural anti-inflammatory as well, so it's going to help joint load and stuff.
I am quite tempted to maybe bust out one of my break glass in case of emergency super shots, and it's like grab ginger, turmeric, grab some carrot, blend it within an inch of his life and drink it, and within like a day someone's rattling off the roof because they're like, I feel euphoric. And it's just like this sweet spot, but it's a certain, you need a certain palate for it. You can't just like drink it like a green.
I used to do that a lot. I used to
blueberry.
Like blend up ginger, chili, garlic, a little bit of agave, and loads of turmeric with just water, and turn it into this like super strong shot that you could have on lemon juice as well. But you know, I used to do quite a lot, and you're going to sound like I'm a total weirdo. I used to take a teapot. And into the teapot, I'd slice like a thumb-sized piece of ginger, 2 cloves of garlic, half a chili, and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and just pour hot water into it, and then just drink it as like an infusion. And it sounds weird, but I got really used to the kind of savoury tang taste of it, and it's like super good for your system.
Well, for me, while you were explaining it sounded like some sort of witch's cauldron. Just the way that you were explaining it.
Yeah, so, it's just like it sounds totally weird. So I'm going to start the
fusion. I was like, okay, right. Sorry, I'll let you. We should get back to the.
Yeah, I'm going to start the CHIA Bircher because it's a one-pan wonder and it's super simple. So again, we're using oats. We're going to take 100 grams of oats this time. Now again, feel free to double, triple this recipe if you want to make more or less. I'm just doing a small batch because that's what I want in the house right now, so you can through all the stuff. Yeah. So 100 grams of oats. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. This is what's going to give it this body. Be generous with the tablespoons as well. And I'm going to add to this again some seeds. So like a tablespoon of each of the seeds, just because I like them, because they're also going to get like a little bit of extra nutritional value and a little bit of texture.
So just like what I've noticed is that you've got like this really cool system which Catherine does. Like you prepare the seeds in a Tupperware box and like have a labeling system. Like I think that's definitely the go-to, because for me, I've got like all of my seeds in separate tins when in fact I should just lump them in one Tupperware and just like, there you go. There you go.
That's it. Easy. So on the recipe it says as well, add maple syrup or agave to taste. That is entirely up to you. If you like it a little bit sweeter, feel free to add more. If you want it less sweet, then obviously don't add as much. So to this, I'm going to add 350 ml of milk. But yeah, I'm using cow's milk. I've said in the recipe, use almond milk or whatever you prefer. Yeah. It's just what you have a preference for. It says agave to taste as well. Again, I don't like it too sweet because I tend to add fruit, fresh fruit, dried fruits, peanut butter, stuff like this, which have a bit of sweetness to it. So I'm again just going to put maybe about a tablespoon. And that is it. So this is now just going to get mixed really well. And I'm going to set it aside, put it in the fridge overnight, and by tomorrow this will be tightened up into like what looks like a porridge, but not cooked. Yeah. And that's purely the agave. Oh, sorry, we squeeze a lemon as well.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, I was like, you've chopped your lemon, you've done nothing with it.
So like this is going to look pretty wet. I don't know, you can't really see it because I've spilled it. It's pretty wet at the moment.
Yeah.
But that will tighten up. It'll probably tighten up within the space of like me talking away and finishing this recipe. So I'm just actually going to set it over here and let it do that. Presently, so this is looking like pretty toasty, pretty golden.
Yeah, I can
Not quite
see that.
like that. How long's left in the timer? 20 seconds. See? Right. So at this point, take it out. Take your seed cinnamon mix, scatter that in, and just stir this all through. And it'll start to smell tremendous. This is going to go back in the oven for like 3-4 minutes. Alexa, stop. So I'm just going to put this back in the oven just to toast those seeds a wee bit. And have that all looking tasty. So
I do technically wish the next time I do this, we'll definitely have like a cook-off at the same time, because I can smell it, but it just...
Plan for this. Right, I need to grab some.
It's just because, obviously, for the viewers, my kitchen is so goddamn small. I literally could straighten out my arms and one hand would hit one end of the other wall. It's a perfect square, but the way that my family works is, as soon as one of us is in the kitchen, all 4 of us are in the kitchen for no apparent reason, whether or not it's making a cup of coffee or like making breakfast. The 2 dogs just decide, yeah, they just look at you like, what doing? You'll give Treato? And I'm like, no, I'm just making a cup of tea. Do you mind leaving the room? So I need to make sure that I cordon myself off in that room before anyone comes in.
So I've got like a 2 little tubs of fruit. I've got some pineapple and some mango that I haven't used. I'm gonna make a really easy like salsa to put on top of your Bircher or your yogurt. So like the chunks are quite big. I'm just gonna make them a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Not by much. I'm just gonna like cube them down slightly. Again, feel free to do this with like any fruit. I just happen to have chosen this because they were cheap and on offer.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. I think that gives people a little bit of variety. If you go to the whippy aisle and you're like, that'll be a good compote I can make for tonight. You know, I like for me.
So you can actually like live pretty well by going to the cheap section in the supermarket. I tend to buy a lot of cheap meat for that reason and like vacuum pack it and freeze it.
Aye.
So I can like make stuff in a couple of days in advance or like later in the week.
I mean,
so
for me,
I'm taking some pineapple.
Yeah, I dive into the mango. Have you ever tried it with mango before?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of mango as well. I'm just going to cube this down a little bit smaller. And again, like it's nothing like particularly fancy. It's just chunks of mango. I tend to like buying fresh mangoes are fine, but they're never ripe. Usually, if you get like tubbed mango, you're kind of like you're like edging on like fresh. Not fresh, ripe enough to like just eat. So I'm just going to chop a little bit of that as well. And I have a little bit of fresh mint as well.
Now, mint is an amazing garnish.
So with the mint, it's going to take maybe, I don't know, 7-10 leaves here. Roll them up and slice them really thin and stare at you really intently as a chop to like freak people out.
Yeah. I just love the fact that you can chop without looking at your hands. And for me, I'd take like the ends of my fingers off. Not a problem. Especially
it's unconscious competence, AK. I've done it for so many years and so long that it's just like it's like anything. You could probably relate it to anything that you do within life. It's like the more you do something, obviously the more you become adept at it. So like crap, like if you relate it to the gym, like double unders. So once you've got that skill and once you keep doing it and doing it and do it, you have this like unconscious competence where you're just able to like go, that's what I need to do, and that's how I replicate that movement pattern. Same for me with like chopping stuff.
I'm going to say yes, but then obviously you've related it to double unders. And we've got people who have been trying to do double unders for 5 years and they still can't fucking do it. So,
well, I think it comes down to like proprioception as well. As like I'm quite aware of where my fingers are at all times. So like I know that I'm not going to like slice through a fingertip. Right. My timer just went off as well. So I don't know if you can see. I don't know if this is picking up colour.
That's
right.
Really
so these are like golden brown, super light in texture. They're not dark, they're not burnt in any way. They're just like all really, really even. You see that?
That's pretty decent.
Like it's looking a bit blanched. Anyway, that is that done. That's granola. That's as hard as it is. So let this cool down. Stick it in a Tupperware, and that's it. And you'll have that. Like that's a good sized portion, like for like days.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to like my wee minty bowl here, which I've like now just thrown in there. I'm gonna put the tiniest squeeze of agave on top of that, and a little bit of the leftover lemon juice, right? And then mix it up. Right? And again, this is something you can have sat in your fridge that you can just add to the top of your overnight oats. Or if you've got fresh yogurt, which I do have, I'm going to grab some yogurt and make like a little like weird bowl looking thing of like this and this and this. So if you have these items, I'll do this in a glass so you can actually like see what I'm doing.
Oh, so it's all about presentation.
Stuff up. So I'm using like super thick Greek yogurt.
Yes,
just
mate.
because I like
the better.
I like the texture, I like the taste, I like the flavour, I like the kind of style of it. So it's like a brand new tub. I'm not actually opening it. So putting this together. So again, this is something you can do with the Bircher. If you want to put it in a glass and make it look all fancy, you can. But this is just to give you an example of like what can be done with like what we just created here. So I'm just gonna scud some yogurt in the bottom of this. And again, if you want to like portion control where your yogurt so you know exactly what your intake is, feel free. I'm just adding like a pile. I'm gonna put like a big scoop of my fresh like compote stuff here. Put all that up in there. And then I'm gonna take a big scoop of my granola. I'm gonna throw that all together. So basically, got like a little like breakfast vinegar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's the majority of the time spent on this video is all basically down on preparation. But the fact of the matter is like that specific bit, that didn't even take you more than a minute. Just to throw it all together and that's your breakfast. Done.
And that's it. If you've got time on a Sunday to like make some granola, make some Bircher, that'll last you 3 days. If you want to top up in the middle of the week, then so be it. I mean, like you said, that didn't take long to pull that together. That can get put in a to-go cup and it can take you, but you can sit and eat it on the bus if you wanted to, so be it, or like take it into the office and just eat it if you're running late, or if nobody's like traveling to offices at the moment, but you understand the premise.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, this you don't have to do this also. You want to just chop up some fresh banana, You want to put in some dried banana, like dried fruits, anything else you want to put into it, feel free. Like this is I'm trying to give you like a base idea, something that you can then build on your own preferred flavor preferences,
That's great, mate. I really enjoyed that. Sheila, what do you think?
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, absolutely. It's like something.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely feeling for some future ones as well. Oh, what's that you've got there, Iain?
So this is the Bircher is starting to get like thicker already. So it's starting to kind of like clump together and like I can't really show you it, like, but it's starting to tighten up. I mean, that's been like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
As soon as the chia seeds start to expand and take on water, they almost go like a kind of gel-like way.
Yeah.
A lot of people use like chia seeds as like as an egg substitute because it kind of works in the same way if you're doing like vegan bacon and stuff. But yeah, so that'll be good to go for tomorrow. And like, but yeah, feel free to try any of these, and also see if you have any questions about it. Like, either file them straight to me or just like file them through Andy, and I'll do my best to put a post up and answer any queries or questions regarding what's going on here. I know I've like lasted through things pretty quick, but
yeah, but I think it's like obviously with us actually being able to post these up on social media platforms through like YouTube and obviously on the page, it just gives people an opportunity to just rewind it and come back to it and just kind of get an idea of like if they've missed anything. But mate, that was actually spot on. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, so
we will do more of the same. I'm feeling like I'm enjoying the breakfast and snack ideas. Going down well. But
well, that's what I thought. We did breakfast last week, and then we could probably touch on like, I don't know how you want to develop this, and like you keep me going. If you have ideas of things you want me to like try and put forward, then I'll try and accommodate as well. If you want to say, oh, I want like a quick and easy dinner or like a snacky thing or stuff, I'll try my best to think about what I can do. But
yeah,
I don't want to make these videos like an hour and 40 minutes long where we've got like a really complicated like dish step-by-step process. So
I definitely will say a dinner would be a great idea. So the next episode, what we'll do is we'll say, can I throw together a banging dinner, which I know I can finish in 20 minutes? Do you think I can pull you down to the challenge of that?
Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
Well, I would even say like 25 minutes to make, 5 minutes to eat. How's that?
That's fine. That's doable.
Right, I'm going to throw a timer on and we'll have a little game with that then. That's a good shout. Cool. No worries. And Sheila, do you have any other questions you want to throw at Chef while we're here?
With the Bircher, the one does it have to be, does it have to be in the fridge or can it sit on the?
Yeah, I'll put it in the fridge. Yeah, get it in a Tupperware and get it in the fridge overnight, and it'll help keep it in the fridge as well. So if you add any fruit and stuff to it, that'll bleed into it as well, and it'll give it a little bit of natural sweetness. So if you put raisins in it, or cranberries, or dried cherries, or anything you fancy, it's going to give it a little bit more sweetness. But yeah, definitely keep it in the fridge. It'll last up to about 3 days, but you probably eat through it quicker depending on how big a batch you make. So, but that's like that single the 100-gram portion will probably give you about 3 good-sized breakfast portions. Unless you want to eat a lot more, unless you're particularly hungry. So
that's brilliant. Awesome. Right, guys. Well, I'm quite happy with that. That was a great episode. Thanks again, Chef, for your time. And Sheila, it's great having you in because it definitely helps contribute towards the episodes. But
thank you.
Well, we'll boost again. We'll look forward to the next episode, Chef. Now go and enjoy that granola while I go off into my kitchen and try and give this a bash.
I wish you could smell it. It smells great. So.
I know. I'm like obviously going to jump onto like Amazon now and try and find Agave as much as I can.
Listen, if you've got maple, man, just use it.
Yeah, true that, mate. But no worries. Right. Thanks very much.